Hi, I'm Jeff Anderson, Fire Chief with Oakdale Fire Department in Oakdale, Minnesota. Back in the late 90s, early 2000s is when we purchased we had two 75-foot aerial ladders at that time. Since that, in the last 20 years, the city of Oakdale has grown and developed, and there have been a number of additional buildings built that were taller in height or had longer setbacks. So basically got to the point where there were a number of buildings in town we could no longer reach with our 75-foot aerial device. So when the first one came up for replacement is when we started looking at something that had a little more reach. That's the reason to go to the 102-foot. But Rosenbauer makes it pretty easy to go through the process and customize a truck and build it the way you want it built. I guess I can't even count the number of changes, in that 38 years, and a large number of those attributed to safety for the firefighters. I mean, from the personal protective equipment that we wear to the apparatus themselves, the breathing apparatus that firefighters wear, the technology that we have available to us today, thermal imaging cameras.
Chief Anderson has been in the fire service a long time. He's put a lot of thought into what options are going to be on his truck that make it safe for his firefighters and functional for how they need to fight fires and do rescues in their community. So consequently, a lot of unique things on this truck that we may not do on other people's apparatus. The fire department is going to start packing line in here, run it all the way up to here, have the one end of the hose pre-connected to here, and they're going to have a blitz fire nozzle that sits in here, hence is why we did the raised lid on this. So it gives them a lot of hose storage capacity and also capacity for a large blitz fire nozzle that will go in here as well. Something that you're seeing in a lot of fire trucks nowadays are these information centers in here that's on the driver and the officer side. Oakdale, no different, but again, this is customized, laid out, so that when Oakdale goes to operate this truck and go to a scene, the screen comes up and the functions are laid out as far as warning lights, generator controls, specific to how Oakdale operates and would like the truck to operate. Another feature here is our overhead HVAC system. It's an option Oakdale has put on their truck versus an engine tunnel mounted system. This gives you kind of a twin overhead unit here, puts a lot of air, a lot of heat or AC back into the crew area where the guys are hot or cold, so good rehab area. For access to the aerial on this truck, we used our Easy Climb ladder. It's a product that we make in-house here. Stores up nicely, up and out of the way. When it's down, it creates an angle, much better than the older trucks that had just utilized folding steps. You can see here how the aerial operator is able to maintain a comfortable position, looking at the guy up on top of in the basket or the scene he's about to approach, and he's not having to fumble around looking for controls. He's able to use a single joystick there to operate all of his aerial functions. The Aerial Information Center we're looking at here is also located at the back of the truck, and there's also one in the basket. Aerial information screen here is going to show a lot of different functions, incline, grade that the truck is on. Also, there's an information center on it that'll tell all of your critical features, oil pressure, water temperature, engine RPM, fuel level. One of the neat features of this truck, again, it's an option, but something Jeff wanted for his community is he chose the aerial command seat. It's a nice balmy day here in Minnesota. It's probably five below zero. Aerial command seat has a heated seat, so the guy sitting in there is comfortable. And one of the neat things, again, big safety feature for Jeff's firefighters that are running this, is that they can do all the aerial operations with one hand. The sign panel on the side of the truck, that's backlit at night, backlit blue at night. Residents of Oakdale see their truck being used in service in their city, and they can be proud of that. A feature that we often put on our Rosenbauer fire trucks here is what we call our Logi panel. It's something we work together with every customer individually on if they want this option. What the Logi panel is this kind of gray picturesque area that I'm talking about right here. One of the things that Oakdale Chief Anderson is great at is trying to really make this simple for his pump operators and for his firefighters to make it easy for them to operate this truck. So we've got discharges on the other side of the truck, on the rear and on the front. And so all of these here, the gauge or the controls for those discharges, are color coded and laid out diagrammatically right to where that discharge is on the fire truck. One of our specialties here at Rosenbauer is working together with customers and trying to make use of every inch of space on the truck. So this is a Rosenbauer pull-out tool board here. Allows the department, or us in this case, to screw in adapters, mounts for their equipment, and bolt that stuff right wherever they want it. This is a torque box, obviously for the aerial platform here. It's hot dip galvanized, just like the ladder, just like the outriggers, for maximum corrosion resistance, something that Chief Anderson had a spec out on his truck. Something a little bit unique to the torque box is he actually has a hose bed inside here. He's probably going to carry 200 or 300 feet of 2.5-inch hose in here. This compartment here, if I'm not mistaken, is one we spent quite a bit of time with Jeff laying out. Very unique, real good use of space. It's a shallow compartment because the water tank is behind this part of the body right here. But at the same time, as you can see, we got some good use of the space here. He's got extinguishers here. And then behind it, he's actually had us mount the lithium battery chargers right behind this. Again, we talked about the Logi panel. Again, you can see how he's got different colors for each of the discharges. Again, makes it easy when the firefighters are communicating what discharge they want to use.
You know, I think some of the things that came into design was just when you start talking a truck that size, it's a big truck. The overall size of the truck, we were trying to keep that obviously as small and compact as possible. You have some limitations when you start putting a 100-foot aerial device on it. So working with that, the Commander chassis, we've been very impressed. We bought one of the first Commander chassis when Rosenbauer started building their own, and had that in service now for almost 4 years, and we've been very impressed with that, the chassis, the operation of it, and how quiet it is in the cab. Every day, I think it's getting better. Through technology, in a lot of cases, ways to make the job safer. There'll always be a certain element of the job of firefighting that's a little bit risky or dangerous, but there are a lot of things that we can do to make it safer. I think in general, the attitude in the fire service is to do just that, to try to make this job as safe as we can.